Hi, Allie. We're picking up where we ended yesterday. We only graphed one hyperbola, so I'm going to actually go back to the very end because at the end I found out that I knew when I graphed it that it was wrong. And I just said, the bell's ringing, what do you do? So I said, I guess I'll have to pick it up tomorrow. We were right up to the very last step, and we had our A of 1 and B of 3. And what page is this on?
147.
147, the Rio 147. I want you to go to that problem and fix what we did wrong. And what we did wrong actually came from the theory, because I did that wrong. So if you're going to mess up, you might as well mess up completely. So let's go ahead and look at the theory. The thing that I taught wrong is I said, go back to your regular hyperbola that I was teaching you on. And remember we had that box with the diagonals? Which way did I say A was?
You said A was up and down.
Up and down. So from the center up was A. That's not true.
Uh-oh.
All right, so could you erase that in your comp book? A is going to be the back and forth, what I said B was, and B is the up and down. And when I got to the end of it yesterday and graphed it, I knew it was wrong, but the bell was ringing, so I said I'd just pick it up today and correct it. So what happens? Let's go back to that graph then. And we did have the center right, and instead of going up 1, isn't that what we did? Yeah, and over 3. What are we going to do, Bailey?
Go up 3
Right.
and over 1.
Right, so here we're going to go up and down 3 to get our box, and we're going to go right and left 1. And I don't think we did that yesterday, did we?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
So does that mean for the vertical?
It doesn't change that, but it's going to change our box. So draw your box differently, put in the diagonals differently, and then we'll discuss the final result. So
For the vertical one, though, does that mean that B is...
on the vertical, the only thing, it still remains that this is horizontal, because remember the way we tested it, if x squared is positive.
Yeah.
So that hasn't changed.
But I mean, like, for the normal, like, when we did the example of the vertical.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when we wrote down that part,
Yeah.
and then we wrote down the vertical one, what would the B and A be?
We did a vertical one?
Well, you said you don't have to write it down, but I wrote it down.
Like where? Show me what you mean. We did?
Like,
What
I
was
just
that?
don't know which one would be B and which one would be
Oh,
A.
yeah. Yeah, that, for some reason, that one's right. Or did you just change it?
I just wrote that right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
B is always up and down,
A is
right?
always side to side.
All right, the question was, if this one happens to be a horizontal hyperbola, if it was a vertical, does that change anything about A and B? And it does not. All right, so do you have this box now instead of the box that you had yesterday?
Not yet.
Okay, go ahead and it's graphed at the center 2 over 3 down. And from that center point, you're going to go up a B of 3 and down a B of 3. And then across to the right 1 from the center and to the left 1. So yesterday we had a horizontal box that was skinny and long horizontally, and this is showing up this picture over here. Okay, now it is. Hey, I thought you were going to bring me a new stand in.
Oh, I forgot. I have to
Okay.
write that down.
That's all right. It'll be a week from now, so this is the last day, right?
Mhm.
Before break.
Yeah.
Okay. Feels like I'm going to break this week.
Did it just fall?
Yeah, so keeping with the discussion.
Just in case you wanted to see the ceiling out.
Yeah.
There you go.
It did come free with some purchase, so what do you expect, you know? All right, do you have your box? And the diagonals?
Almost.
So we decided that this was horizontal, so it's not going to be this kind of hyperbola, it's going to be it's horizontal. Yeah, it's going to be this kind of hyperbola. Horizontal. that make sense to you that it goes this way? When the openings are left and right, it's called horizontal. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so you can see it looks a little differently than the one we had. All right, Allie, we're going to spend a few minutes before the quiz by going over the mock quiz. So you took the mock quiz home with you yesterday. So we're going to practice some of those, and I'll actually beam on the answers for you so you can practice before taking the real quiz. So if you know things on this, you'll know everything on the real quiz.
I had a question about the ellipse.
All right, which one, for example?
Well, I just the normal one we were learning that.
Okay.
Is the B still always up and down, like even on?
On that one, it was ellipse kind of worked differently. On that one,
The A was the one.
the
on the
A is the
major axis?
longest. Yeah, so it doesn't matter which,
Okay.
if we were going horizontal or vertical, the A was the longest.
And then B is on the minor axis.
Right. So, and so sometimes that's up and down, and sometimes it's right and left. So
Okay.
you have to deal with that. All right, let's look at your answers. What did you say on number 1?
Foci.
Okay, I'll actually shine a light on here. I'm gonna have to turn the lights off. How can I keep them off? I know they'll pop right back on if we're very still. Yeah. All right, sorry, Allie. I'm going all over the place. You can look out the window for a second.
And it's on the ceiling again.
We're just trying to make the window, make the lights stay off, which is. Here's some cards.
This is.
I'll try to tape up there. I should have done this before you came. Yep. I wish that this was. One of my wish lists is that they never did this. It's been a struggle ever since. Will that work? We'll find out. Because once you cover it, then you can't hardly work the switch. All right, here we go. Allie girl. All right, we're looking at this paper. All right, Bailey, what are you saying? She can't see these answers, so you can cover them up and try it before you look. All right, Bailey, what are some parts of the ellipse that you came up with?
Number 1 was foci.
Uh-huh.
Number 2 was vertex.
Good.
3 is B.
Good.
4 is center. 5 is A.
Uh-huh.
And 6 is vertical.
Okay, she got them right. Hopefully you did
Yay.
too, Allie. All right, now we're going to label the parts of a hyperb. So what you get down there?
1 is foci.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't use foci.
No, we
did
didn't.
Okay.
I could have. I said there's a whole lot more to these that we're not going to get to it. So.
2 is diagonal, right?
Yep. Or if
But
you
they're
might
also
have, or
called
it could also be pointing to. Oh yeah, diagonals. Another word for that is also asymptote.
Yeah.
Either one. Okay.
3 is the center.
Mm-hmm.
4 is vertices.
Right.
And 5 is horizontal.
Very good. All right. Were you? This was not assigned, so you were just looking it over basically. So
Except
did
I
you
did.
actually do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll just go over it. What does your ellipse look like? Is
It's
it
like
horizontal or vertical?
It's a horizontal.
What is the center?
The center is 0, 0.
And what does it go up from the center? How
It
many?
goes up 5.29,
Is that the square root of what?
28,
Right. Square root of 28 up and down, and then right and left?
8.
Okay, you got it. Alrighty, let's look at the next one. It's also an ellipse. Where is the center?
3, -2.
And what, from that center at 3, -2, you go up and down. First of all, is it vertical or horizontal?
It's vertical.
Because?
Why did I write vertical? Because the A is on the right. The A is
Right, the
under
larger
Y.
number is under the Y, right. So that means it's vertical.
And
All right, so what is, you go from 3, -2, how far up do you go?
4 up
4 up?
and 4 down.
Mm-hmm.
And then over 3.16 and to the left 3.16.
Which is square root of? Very good. All right, the next one we had to put into its form. So jump down to the form.
I got I got like coefficients.
All right.
Was I supposed to have coefficients?
I'll tell you about that. Tell me what you got.
I got 9 times x minus 2 squared plus 25 times y minus 1 squared equals 1.
Okay, we didn't come up with one like this. I can't remember. I think
Yeah,
there
we
might be a
didn't.
part of one on the quiz. So, Allie girl, I'm going to switch over to the board to explain. So,
I'll hold it.
yeah, that's probably better. All right. So read that again.
9 times x minus 2 squared plus 25 times y minus 1 squared equals 1.
All right. See, she completed the square on that one, was that number 3 under Roman numeral 3.
Yes.
And she completed the square correctly, but it's still not in the form that it needs to be. It needs to look like x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. Do I need to turn the lights back on, or is it?
I think she can see it.
Why is it not in this form right now?
Because there are coefficients.
Right. So these 9 and 25 are misplaced. So I can't divide by 1 and change that. And the ones previous, that kind of fell into our lap. So what can I do to muscle that 25 and that 9 down into the denominator? Well, can you think backwards, Bailey? Like dividing?
Divide by 1 over 9.
Right. When you divide by a fraction, it's like multiplying by its reciprocal. So this can jump into the denominator of the denominator. So what's your a then? If this is a squared, so what's a?
1/3.
And what's b?
1/5.
So which of these is bigger? So is this horizontal or vertical?
It's horizontal.
Okay. So I'll go back to the paper now. I don't know if we've gone 10
I
minutes.
don't know how I. Wait, those things are how much you go up and down.
Yeah,
okay.
so look at my tiny bitty little
I mean, I have a
ellipse.
little
Isn't it
tiny
the
one,
cutest?
too.
Isn't it cute?
Oh, it is cute. I have a small one too, but that's just because I did one.
All right, yeah.
Because I did.
All right, so x, the center is at 2, 1, so 2 over 1 up. And from that, it's horizontal because the larger number is the larger a or b. A is 1/3 and b is 1/5. A is the larger of the two. So it is a horizontal, but it's going to be hard to tell. So you go out 1/3 from your center on each side and go up 1/5 and down 1/5. So I just drew a little baby one there. So, all right, I'm going to turn this off and make a part 2. So I'm not sure how many minutes we've gone. And we're going to go over on the back.